Hello, YouTube. It's G-Man5338, your streetwise professor. Happy Thanksgiving, America.
We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together, now more than ever, it's on.
Well, not much to talk about today, really. I'm just going to give some shout-outs. We're going to talk about next week's shows. For Mental Health Minute on Monday, we're going to talk about the history of PTSD, how the military has sort of dealt with people with shell shock and PTSD through the years, where we're at today with it, and how things can be improved, because there's still a lot of room for that. We're also going to talk about one of the biggest turds in the Canadian military punch bowl. One of the most prolific sexual predators to ever come out of the Canadian Forces. And I helped bust the fucking guy. And along with him, not next week, but in the upcoming weeks, we'll also talk about a serial killer that came out of the Canadian Armed Forces back in the mid-2000s, like 2010 or so. Again, very prolific. I didn't have anything to do with his case, but the sexual predator, wow, yeah, I got to work on that case. I wasn't a lead investigator, just an assisting detective. But yeah, I got to deal with it, and we'll talk about it, because the guy went down on like 30 some odd charges related to sexual assault and breach of trust. Shy of that, let's hit some shout outs.
So I got to give a big shout out to the Micmac community on the east coast of Canada. Over the past few months, there have been some significant disputes over their lobster fishing territories. One of their major lobster processing plants was actually set on fire during these disputes. You see a picture of it in the background. People were getting hurt, boats were being destroyed, traps being cut, and this is really affecting the livelihood of the Micmac. So I took a hardline stance, as I always will, in support of Canada's Indigenous people. Now, on my TikTok is where I spoke about this, because I deal with a lot of political stuff on my TikTok. Anyways, they sent me an awesome shirt because of what I was saying and what I was doing for them. Here's a post to the video that I did that really got me some attention on social media for standing up for them. So check it out, and then I'll show you the t-shirt they sent me. All right, Nova Scotia, this shit has got to end. There are 23 countries in North America. If one of those 23 countries is doing something you don't like, you don't get a right to go fuck it up like this, all right? You're terrorists, you're guerrillas, and if you tried this shit on me when I was a soldier, I would have gutted you from ass to breakfast, all right? Knock it off, go home, leave these people alone. They're on their own land. All right? It's not yours. Don't be so ignorant. Don't be so racist. Don't be so conceited. Don't be so selfish. Knock the shit off before somebody gets seriously fucking hurt. You fucking disgust me, Nova Scotia. So this is a Treaty 1752 shirt they sent me. Much respect out to the Micmac community for this. Thank you.
So in my time as a police officer, I dealt with some pretty high-end, prolific shit rats. I had Eric Wheeler, the guy who tried to shoot up a small community of a couple thousand people that I was in charge of policing. I stopped that guy before he could actually roll out and start dropping rounds on people. And then there's this guy, James Wilks. All right. The most prolific sexual predator the Canadian Armed Forces has ever produced. All right. The thing about the military is that we're like a cross section of regular society. So we are obviously going to have our share of shit rats too. There's no two ways around it. And this guy is no different. We're talking over 30 plus charges related to sexual assaults and breach of trust. Now, I had the misfortune of working this case. I wasn't a lead detective on it, just an assisting officer, but I got to interrogate the guy and interview some of the witnesses. I actually ended up with a professional standards complaint out of this case. which was just settled last year and has now been reactivated again. I didn't do anything wrong, though. You know, I was a good cop, like I said, and I didn't mess this up. But the complainant in my PS case is basically just a whiner looking for some attention. So yeah, listen, I want you all to tune in next week for our Mental Health Minute when we're talking about the history of PTSD and shell shock. And then tune in on Thursday when we talk about this turd in the Army's punch bowl, or the Navy's punch bowl, because he came from the Navy. Anyways, I want you all to stay up, stay strong, enjoy some of that turkey, fam. Look out for each other, people, because we're all we got. Peace.
Yo, this one's going out there to all my homies, my natives, my brothers, my family that's supporting me. Those that are overseas, those that are on lockdown, and those that are free.
We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together, now more than ever, it's on. We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was